Yo, what's up guys? So in this video we're going to be talking about TB versus TDS Halloween events. So we all know that both games released their Halloween event. So I thought it'd be a pretty good idea to talk about the similarities and also the differences. Now let's take a look at the design of the map. As we can see for the TB Halloween event, the map looks pretty good, but it's a little simple. But that's, I think, the theme of TB. TB tends to be a little simple, a little basic, whereas TDS maps tend to be a little more complex and a little more better looking. But I don't think that there's anything wrong with, a map that looks simple or a different map that looks more complex. They just overall look different. But the biggest difference is that the TB map, the ambience, the environment is a lot darker compared to TDS. And that gives more of a spooky feeling for the TB Halloween event compared to TDS. But that's basically the biggest difference when it comes to the maps. Now, when it comes to zombies, right, there's a total of 15 waves for TB and a total of 18 waves for TDS. Now, there are some similar zombies, such as the mummies that come out and also the witches. And there's probably a few other similar zombies as well, but the biggest difference when it comes to zombies would be the bosses, because as you can see for the TB boss, it is a grim boss which has 700,000 HP. That is insane. That is a lot of HP. That's like basically the same as Void Reaver from hardcore mode in TDS. That is one thick zombie, right? And it can be very annoying to kill it. So that's why TB event was, I guess, much harder. Whereas for the TDS boss zombie, we can see that the wave 18 boss is Lord Sinister, but has a puny little 150,000 HP. So we kill it really quickly. Even if it had, I think, close to double, we probably would have been able to beat it still. But because it only had 150,000 compared to 700,000, TDS event is much easier. Now, speaking of difficulty, I just mentioned that the bosses are totally different in terms of the difficulty, Lord Sinister being much easier. And I honestly think that the zombies that come out, the smaller zombies in waves, are much easier for TDS as well. I mean, I am a pretty experienced TDS player and also TB player, and I played with experienced TDS and TB players as well when we were trying to triumph it. But it took us many attempts for TB event, and we actually lost in like wave 6 or 7 because we did not expect the zombies to be that tanky, right? So our first attempt, we literally just lost in wave 7, whereas for TDS event, we were able to first triumph it. So the difference is huge, right? Like the waves are much easier for TDS, whereas for TB, you kind of need to think a little bit more, and you have to be a little lucky at times, especially when it comes to the last wave. Whereas for TDS, it's very straightforward. It's very easy to triumph. If you just have 4 experienced people, you can easily triumph it without any strat within like a couple tries or so. So yeah, overall difficulty for both the normal waves and the boss wave TB was significantly harder. But I think that makes sense though, because Below has been working on other updates, whereas Planet hasn't. So I think Planet focused a lot of his time on making the TB event a lot harder. And like being able to balance waves and making them really hard, it takes a long time. And that's why TB event was significantly harder compared to TDS. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the reward tower. Now, unfortunately, TDS reward tower hasn't come out yet, but the reward tower for the TB is really good. It is a very strong spawn tower called the Graveyard, and at max level it spawns a Jack, which has 10,000. So it's a really strong tower, really good tower, very appropriate because the event was hard. So I'm guessing for TDS the event tower is not going to be as good because the event was really easy. But hopefully it's not too bad though. Hopefully it's not like post nerf Commando or something like that, right? But it is possible. I mean, like for the event tower to be good, because like the winter event for TDS wasn't that hard. It was kind of hardish. It was definitely not easy, but the event tower Archer, when it first came out, was super good. So I mean, it could be like that, but hopefully as long as it's not anything too bad, I'm down for whatever. And then the last thing is juicy drama. This is not to like stir up drama or anything. This is just showing you guys my opinion of like my unbiased opinion of like what went down. But there was basically a short drama between Planet and Below, who are the owners of TB and TDS. And so basically the left image, this image that you guys are looking at, is a Twitter post by Planet, and he basically says LMFAO, and then he tags Below on Twitter because I think from what he said, I mean, he just said LMFAO, but he basically implied that Below copied Planet because the image on the left is the graveyard farm skin, whereas the image on the right, you can see my avatar in the back, is an image of the graveyard tower. So on the left it's a skin, on the right it is a tower. So on the right, it is a tower that you get for triumphing the TV Halloween event. And you can see the similarities. Obviously, the biggest difference would be how on the left, for the farm skin, the Jack holding an axe with his right hand, and his head is still attached to the body. Whereas, you know, on the right, the tower, the Jack's head is being held by his right arm. Whereas he's also holding the axe. I think the axe that looks similar, very similar. I'm gonna zoom in. It's kind of hard to see from this view, but it's a very similar looking axe with his left hand. So yeah, either way, as you can see, both you know, Jacks are kind of similar, but not really. My opinion of whether, you know, the left one is a copy of the right, it's kind of hard to say, especially because the Jack on the left, it's a TDS farm skin, is probably supposed to represent the Lord Sinister zombie, which is a boss zombie for TDS, whereas for the right, it's supposed to represent the zombie, the unit that comes out, the Jack, the 10,000 HP Jack that comes out when the graveyard is at max rank. So it's kind of hard to say that the left one copied right, even though right came out first, because both represent two things that are completely different. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. You know, did Below copy Planet, or, you know, what exactly went down? But yeah, do make sure not to spread drama. This is not the point of drama. It's just, you know, topic for discussion. But anyway, hope you guys liked this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and see you guys in the next one. Peace.